let's go ahead and take a little bit of a deeper look at Evil Geniuses, the team that's been predicted to win by everyone but Hoaxer here. And that's going to be Lunchbox, Roy, Tapping Buttons, and Falcated here. So Evil Geniuses used to be one of the most dominant squads we've had in Halo, with Lethal on the squad, with Ogre 2, with Pistola. I mean, Lunch and Roy, they've pretty much gone through almost every single player in the league on that team, other than like a Snakebite and Royal 2 combination there. But ever since Halo 5, or ever since X Games occurred and they won that gold medalist, they have yet to get back into their best form.
I thought you were gonna call him Snake Boil. Snake Boil 2.
Snake Boy, I know, that almost just happened, Tom.
Snake Boy.
Snake Boy.
That would be a great tag. But Ronin, obviously, if we haven't touched on it already, Nemesis, the new addition onto this squad. Straight Sick out. Straight Sick's found his team, and they're playing pretty darn well as well. Curious to see how he's going to be able to do in the Legendary Cups as you take a look at Straight Sick at the far end of that Ronin squad. But Evil Geniuses, talking about them, now, you want to get your hopes up if you're an EG fan, but every single time you get your hopes up, something happens in a game number 5, or there's just some major letdown after a huge series win, and like now they sit at 1-5.
Yeah, like they take the very first win of the Pro League, and then you have some big hopes of what they can do in the future, and then they drop 5 straight.
It's unfortunate because the way that they lost those games, where they look so great, and then they come out flat, and then they'll make a huge mistake, or they'll have just some lackluster, individual performance that doesn't seem characteristic from them at all. As you take a look at Tapping Buttons, who has been fairly strong, and remember, this guy was introduced in the Pro League, a lot of players are like, who? Why'd this guy get picked up? There's so many other players. But guess what? Tapping Buttons has done more than hold his own, and there's a reason that Evil Genius is sitting at 1-5, and it's not, in my opinion, individuals. It's just the whole team falling short in certain instances. Again, the best way to describe it for me is getting over the hump. If they're able to get over the hump, I feel like that's when they're going to really start to shine. I thought that they're going to be able to do it with their 5th, 6th performance and carry that into the Pro League after Atlanta. They did so with that first huge win, but then after since getting reverse swept by LG, they have not been able to find their groove.
Yeah, that's a really good point to bring up, because even in that LG series, they took the game number 1, I want to say, and then game number 2, they were down 48 or 49 to 46.
Won that
came
one.
back and won, and then ever since that comeback game, it's really just been a downhill spiral for them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they have the talent and they have the veteran leadership. They have, a great organization and coach behind them as well. So it's interesting to see, how much Evil Geniuses is going to be able to go and put their skill to the test here against a Ronin squad who, again, they're fighting just like how Naventic was fighting previously. They've had a very underwhelming Pro League as well. There is so much on the line here besides just the placing. Again, nobody's going to want to face Optic Gaming here. That's what the number 2 seed is. If you're the number 7th seed, obviously, the EU teams coming over, it may change the bracket a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how that matches out, but typically 1 will play 8, 2 will play 7, 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5. You don't want to face off against Optic Gaming.
No, you definitely don't want to face any of the top 4 teams here based on the performances we've seen. But let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout, see the maps these 2 teams are going to be matching up on: Plaza Strongholds, Regret Slayer, Fathom CTF, Empire Strongholds, and True Slayer. Keep in mind, Tom, with Luminosity's win, Evil Geniuses can no longer move up in the standings, but if they lose to Ronin, still a chance they can move down.
Yeah, again, that's the big thing here, is trying to get away from that 7th seed, trying to control that 6th seed. Believe that there's a higher payout for that as well, so a little bit of money up for grabs up in this series. And a lot of, people, when we started playing Halo, we didn't play it for the money, Kyle. We played for the respect. And that's the number 1 most important thing here, is winning this series, because you've had a very poor Pro League and you want to come out here and pretty much just slug the other team in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, pretty sure we were playing Halo to break even to attend events back in the day. Obviously, things have turned around quite a bit since then, and we are getting ready to jump into game number 1 here of the last match of the Pro League season, and we're starting this one off with Suspector.
Suspector laying down some cover fire across the map on the players pushing on over towards posters. A late push on over towards the yard. Has to watch out for his teammate, and it's weird to see that team nade come in. You would think that that's a strategy that they've ran before, but L-Town, he doesn't die from that team grenade, so not the end of the world, but Suspector does get this shotgun, and we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. You currently have Yard being captured, but bottom, middle, and Nest haven't been touched quite yet, and Suspector running around, not laying much cover fire down ever since his initial spawn, fighting from flowers on over towards the posters. Instead, he's now flying out for the 2-shot beatdown, which means that these guys want to make a loop push on over to posters and make their way towards Nest.
Yeah, definitely glad he was able to pick up a kill there, because he's kind of been rotating back and forth, not really getting any shots down onto players. As you can see in that kill feed though, Sabinator, he grabs himself a double kill, and you know, it kind of seemed like a lot of the players here from Ronin were taken out of the equation to start, but Evil Genius is not really able to capitalize. We can see finally they pick up 2 kills and have a third player with no shields, make that 3 dead here, and we might be seeing everything on the map flip. Roy gets Yard all by himself, bottom mid is captured as well, and now they've got all of Ronin coming off the perfect spawn trap over towards blue.
If Roy only had a grenade, how things would have been changing, and a very weird challenge right there. I understand that he's trying to buy time, but you could just go back and wait for them to go towards bottom middle, and I'm guessing he's hoping that he can come off spawn in time to go and contest these players before they can get towards bottom middle, which is what happened eventually. Just a kind of a weird challenge, and I'm worried for Evil Geniuses that they're going to get too aggressive on over towards Yard, because throughout all of the Pro League seasons, that has been their #1 Plaza problem, is they get setups in strongholds, they have bottom middle, they have Nest, and they go into Yard. So most strongholds won't problems. That's the problem going on right now for these guys.
And we're over here on board with Tapping Buttons as he is rotating around and controlling Nest. And Sean in the back immediately has to try to vacate that area. As you can see, Ronin putting a lot of resources over here to securing Nest. So it's a 3v4 situation. Now Shotgun still over in favor of Evil Geniuses, but just as I say that, Roy gets taken out and now Falcated. He's definitely gonna have to play a little bit safer now with this.
Throughout all of this, Suspector was able to get the camouflage. Huge pickup from him. I believe he picked it up right around that 940 mark. So a little bit of a delayed camouflage as well. And since they have that time, ooh, Falcade, you can see in the bottom left, gets the shotgun kill on a Suspector who had the camo. So taking out that player now means Sabinator is going to try to rotate and take his position instead. And while that's happening, bottom middle is being captured. So numerous players going to drop in there. Should be an easy reset, and it is coming in from Ronin. And a nice solid assassination coming in from Tapping Buttons, but they're going to need much more than that, because you saw how clean the execution was on the bottom middle retake from Ronin. They sent a guy over towards Loop, and then the other guys came in towards the cafe. That's something that Evil Genius is going to have to do here. They can't afford to give up deaths like that. Tapping Buttons going down way too easy to Sabinator. That's when you leave yourself susceptible for a triple cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Falcated, what a big kill there to pick up one in a 2v1 situation. Grabs himself a double kill. So now we're looking at a 2v2 as Roy gets taken out. Tapping Buttons, last player alive over towards Yard. Not going to be able to do anything there. So now we're seeing a lead change here as Ronin answers the call and gets right back into this one. Keeping in mind, this is the very last Pro League games that we're going to be seeing for fall here.
That's true, and Nemesis haven't had a chance to call out his name quite yet in this game. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. His 2 kills going on over to Ronin, and keep in mind, Kyle, in about 20 seconds, that's when the camo's popping up, and guess who got it last time? It was the Spectre. So Ronin going to easily have this time. If they can just get in position with these strongholds here, that's going to spell disaster for Evil Geniuses. Roy, he's been dropping bottom center by himself a couple of times, 2 or 3 times in this game so far, but he has reinforcements this time around. That's going to be all 4 dead for Ronin. Evil Geniuses with the bottom retake right when camo's coming up. Find out if Ogre 2's on top of that time.
Yeah, and we can see just great overall job by Evil Geniuses getting in and securing all 3 strongholds. Looks like they elect to just go ahead and give up the Yard. I like this decision, especially that camo is coming up here. We'll see. Looks like Tapping Buns was able to secure that, gets taking no shields and is doing everything he can to stay alive. You see in the kill feed though, he does get taken out. And wow, what was just a triple cap and all 4 members from Ronin over in Yard, just as quickly a bottom mid flip back in their favor.
Which is crazy because they had the camouflage too. That one was grabbed at 7:32, so 5:32 on your game clock when the next camouflage should be respawning. You should have probably 2 camos popping up here too, so back and forth game in the favor of Ronin right now, and that stick is not going to help things though.
Is that the 3rd betrayal?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but that was a pretty impressive stick when you consider all things.
I've seen more green hit markers than regular hit markers this game, I feel like.
You're the team of the King, Nate, so you tell me.
Yes, it is. But great shots from L-Town. Picks up that perfect kill here. Lots of action happening bottom center. Last shot metal here coming out of Lunchbox. Almost able to grab himself a double kill there, but Falcated cleans that one up. Now Lunchbox is on protection duty. Make sure Falcated shields can, in fact, recharge here. So control has flipped back over. L-Town gets caught out by himself, maybe a little early on that push there, and buys a lot of time here for Evil Geniuses to try to even up the score again.
Quick kill check on both sides. Sabinator with the most kills on the side of Ronin, sitting at 13. Meanwhile, Roy on the other side for Evil Geniuses, sitting at 11 for the most on his squad. Evil Geniuses currently controlling 2 of the strongholds. You can see bottom middle currently under control, Nest under control. They just pushed on the yard for that triple cap. A lot of players spawning over towards that back wall area for Ronin. That means they're going to be going over towards bottom middle and to Nest. It's up to Evil Geniuses to allow this Nest to go on over to them, but watch the bottom middle, try to get the slays, and then retake the Nest off the spawn.
Ooh, and great last shot there to pick up the kill onto Nemesis by tapping buttons. Listen to the callouts, grabs himself an assist. Last 2 players are pushing on him over from the Nest. I like this decision. He wisely backs down, tries to find a new angle. New camo comes up, but a great burn out of L-Town. Basically the only thing he could have done in that situation, and keeps it out of EG's hands.
And what a play from tapping buttons, not only to decide not to challenge, but then to run away and take the angle towards top gold as they trade yard for Nest on the side of Evil Geniuses. But then to go and get a height advantage to go and help burn that camouflage player. Very heads-up play from tapping buttons. And now you can see Evil Geniuses, they're starting to rotate and use a little bit more teamwork before. I don't feel like they were pinpointing exactly where the members for Ronin were up until this point.
You can see tapping buttons. I like the decision to focus on the top gold guys. Another player dropped driveway, but no help from his team quickly enough, and he has to focus on top gold for way too long. Ultimately gets taken out. Falcated, he's still got the shotgun in his back pocket here. Big win for Sabinator, the double melee. And Evil Geniuses, they elect to just overload yard, and with that being said, they've got a triple cap here back on the map. Ness is being captured, but only 1 player is over there, so this is a lot of time going on the board here for EG.
One more push here coming out for Ronin. Where do they want to go? They have Nest, so it has to be bottom middle. You see the spawns coming up off the snipe ramp, another player towards the blue ramp. All they have to do is contest for Evil Geniuses and get a slay. There's 1 slay. Falcated finds 1. Tapping buttons finds another. Lunchbox finds the 3rd. Nemesis now the last guy alive, and he's not in position. You can't do it by yourself. Evil Geniuses taking game 1. Great showing at the end of that game.
Definitely a great game 1 for Evil Geniuses, and you got to be feeling good about that victory here, taking an early lead in this series. By no means is this one over yet. We'll take a look at the stats here momentarily. Overall, Lunchbox and Roy stepping up here for
by 5.
team. Yeah, so the Slays definitely going out in their favor. Sabinator having a big game. Most kills, most assists here for his team. Move over and we'll take a look at those strongholds captured. So still in favor of Evil Geniuses here. And this 100-61, so not the biggest victory we've ever seen, but it definitely was just in their favor for the entire game.
Yeah, unfortunately we weren't on L-Town's point of view, but 7, 9, and 14, not the start that he was looking for. And 3 of his kills, Kyle, were perfect kills, which is crazy to think about. Half of his kills pretty much. He had 7, he had 3 perfect kills. So if he's not landing those perfect kills, who knows how many he would have had overall. But Evil Geniuses, the way that they were able to use tons of teamwork towards that tail end of the game, right when they needed to. A lot of that, in my opinion, having to do with just a very small spree from tapping buttons. Even though it wasn't a killing spree overall, very heads-up play not to challenge that and then get back around to help burn that camouflage. I feel like if L-Town was able to get that camo, they could have got some momentum, and then they would have been eventually retaking strongholds there. So now we move into game number 2. Evil Geniuses, this is what we've been looking for quite some time, is to string together numerous wins and have a clean series. So many of their series, it's up and down, up and down. They've never been able to do it consistently. This could be their series here. It starts with a strong start in game 2. But
a Regret Slayer game type number 2, when you got L-Town on the opposite team, is definitely going to be a little bit of a scary moment, because we've talked about that time and time again. Coliseum and Regret have really been his maps where he shines most effectively, putting up multiple times, breaking that 20 kill mark, which is extremely difficult to do in any Halo team Slayer, because you're picking up almost half of the kills for your team there.
You know what, Kyle, though? You can't spell regret without EG.
Wow. I'm just done, Tom. No, I'm just kidding here. As we get ready to head into this regret game type, we're starting once again. Let's do this one with tapping buttons here. He's having a solid game number 1 performance, and he is the player contesting the Plasma Caster here on P side.
Tapping buttons has to get that, but 2 of his teammates have died, so now he's looking around to try to respond to the call. It's able to get that kill onto L-Town, but not able to find the second right there. 3-1 here, and you can see eventually Plasma Caster will go on over. It does actually go on over to Nemesis. We'll find out if he's going to be able to do work with that.
Ooh, and Suspector getting collapsed on by multiple members of Evil Geniuses. Roy will finish off that kill. Ooh, Plasma Caster goes over to Nemesis, who grabs himself a charged up Plasma Caster kill already on a Falcated, who's sitting up there by that carbine. That's a Plasma pistol and pistol shot coming out of Sabinator, who had that phenomenal game number 1 for Ronin, or at least stand it out among the rest of his squad. So power weapon control and map control and score here, 8-2, heavily going over to Ronin.
Not the start that you were looking for if you're Evil Geniuses. Again, we were talking about stringing it together, carrying on the momentum, and that's not what happened here when the score is 11-4. Nemesis still alive with plenty of Plasma Caster left. Let's see what angles he's going to elect to take. Wanted to get towards top center, but fell, so now he's going to have to relocate. Looks like he's going to rotate on over towards the pink side. Try to find out some information, but that hit marker is going to give up his position. Can he connect on the Plasma Caster? Not able to quite yet. And now he's in a vulnerable spot as Evil Geniuses is crossfiring across with the carbine.
Yeah, and you can see Nemesis wisely backs down here, trying to find another angle. He's going to catch first shot on the Falcated, but he gets destroyed. He had the first 3 or 4 shots on that one, Tom, so that is going to be exactly what they need to get back into it. They finish another kill onto L-Town, 15-8, so still a healthy lead, but that is going to be a nice game-changing potential kill.
Wow, ridiculous kill right there. And I was switching over through other point of views, and I just saw Roy give the nastiest strafe on over to Nemesis. Sometimes we talked about it. 4 dead right there from Ronin. Huge plays, individual plays, sometimes fire up the entire squad.
Yeah, I mean, and terrible plays do the exact opposite. When you look at your teammate get the first 3, 4 shots, you look away, and then in the kill feed you see that he died, you just kind of raise your eyebrows like, what just happened over there? And that is not the way you take
And
W's.
They're doing it again. 3 dead now. Nemesis, the last guy alive. Evil Geniuses, where are they going to collapse from? You have the overshield in the hands of Falcated. Lunchbox pushing in over towards the pink side. He has Plasma Caster as well, just completely lighting up Nemesis. I wouldn't be surprised if Evil Geniuses rotates the spawns for a 3rd time.
Yeah, 20-16 now, and wow, what a turn of events, and this is just steamrolling out of control now for them. That Plasma Caster could still be in the hands of Nemesis, controlling pink side, but he just got a little bit too comfortable, and Roy gave him the Allen Iverson, I want to say.
The business.
Broke his ankles.
Broke the ankles, that's for sure. Hit him with the 1-2, buckle my shoe. Now, Lunchbox gonna rotate over, but he gets shot in the back right there. Evil Genius is not covering all angles. Sometimes you gotta make those risky plays though to try to get top center control compared to rotating around towards car side or going up towards P2 side, but sometimes it's a little bit risky, and you saw Lunchbox gets a majority of his shields ripped off, so he's gonna have to reset, refocus here, try to find out where these players are. Can't shoot that into the air, so he's gonna have to try to shoot it against the ground and get the AoE damage, but taken out. I believe that was a green gun combo coming in. Yes, the Spectre. He has the noob combo.
All right, 23-21. Lunchbox gets a little bit too tunnel vision on that player, jumping around and, you know, kind of chases him down, gets killed from behind. I would have liked to see him just let that player go. Either way, his teammates finished off that kill, so just trying to do a little bit too much when you got to sometimes just rely on your teammates.
Now we're all knotted up here, 24-24, overshield popping up, and you got to give the advantage right now to Ronin because of this guy, Suspector, with the green gun combo. If they are able to get the overshield, oh! Burn from both sides. So I thought if they're able to get the overshield, that will be huge for Ronin, but no. Not gonna do it. Evil Genius is gonna hit him with the burn. Big thing to take away from that is both teams have the exact time. So another epic battle gonna happen down towards bottom middle in 2 minutes. Roy just gets completely melted by Suspector over towards top car. Nemesis working with his teammate over, trying to take out, I believe, Tapping Buttons, who's sitting top car, but now Tapping Buttons coming out with the Plasma Caster, giving Ronin a little taste of their own medicine, dropping Suspector. Lunchbox coming in with the cleanup, working with his twin brother, Roy, right there. And now Evil Geniuses they're getting a little bit of top center control again, and the way that they've been able to rotate spawns, if you're Ronin, you have to be the aggressors here. You cannot allow Evil Geniuses to push your base.
Ooh, and a collapse coming in. 2 players right in front of Lunchbox. Grabs 1, an assist on another player. 3 dead here now. 5-kill lead moving over to Evil Geniuses in this game number 2. Keeping in mind, EG did go ahead and take game number 1 already. So this is a very big game for Ronin to come out and take. We've heard predictions from all around. Evil Geniuses, you know, slightly favored, but Ronin, a bold prediction from Hoaxer to take this one.
And he's, you know, pretty close. I mean, game number 1, fairly close. Game number 2 was a slugfest, but Evil Geniuses, they had that great rotation on spawns. They collapsed almost perfectly numerous times. I mean, 3 times we saw Ronin go 3 or 4 dead, and they're doing it again. It's staggered, but it's still a good trade of kills for Evil Geniuses. Nemesis slowing things down just a little bit, finds that double kill. Now, Tapping Button's gonna have to relocate, goes on top of the base, but you can see all of his teammates are dying left and right. Killing spree coming in, but he's eventually gonna drop to Nemesis. You can see Ronin, they were down 5, they're bringing it right back here, only down 3 now.
Oh, we are coming down to the wire. 3-kill game is this new overshield. It's going to be the last overshield we see here on this Regret. And big battle goes over in favor of Evil Geniuses. Now it looks like a little bit of a double team there, so you can't point out anything, but 39-42 with overshield getting ready to spawn here. Plasmacaster still up on the map, and everybody is scared to make moves here.
That's true. Sabinator, what's he going to do with the overshield, though? That's the big key. He's working with Nemesis, as Nemesis has done numerous times this game.
Oh, here it goes.
Pushing Carside. It's going to be a 3-person push. That's going to give a lot of information to Evil Geniuses. Sabinator is going to drop. Nemesis finds 2 kills, though. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Ronin. Make that a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Ronin. They brought it right back to 1 game. Suspector has to stay alive. He at least gets the trade after all is said and done, but what a tight game we have here in game number 2.
Yeah, this caster's still up on the map here too, so we'll see who ultimately grabs that. We've seen Royal 2 and Pistola both change the outcomes of games using that weapon. So you can see on the sides there, looks like a carbine over to Evil Geniuses, but 2 battle rifles in favor of Ronin here, and nobody's still grabbed this Plasmacaster. Nobody wants to make a move for it.
Well, Ronin has the advantage right now with top center, but what would you rather have here? Would you rather have the 1-kill lead or the positioning? It's a tough spot to be in because whoever gets the initial kill, that's really who's going to have the big advantage, because then they're going to be able to push that numbers advantage. And if it's Ronin, they're going to be in a much better spot than Evil Geniuses, but EG starts it off with a back smack, and that is huge because that means Tapping Buttons can distract for the rest of the squad. Not only does he pick up 1, but he picks up 2.
I would say I want map positioning there, because Regret, unlike most other game types, or it's the game type you see the biggest swings when you start collapsing on teams, because you can collapse onto 1 base, block the spawns there, and then immediately push back across the map. And with thrust, slides, and clambers, you can literally be there within 2 to 3 seconds to kill people off respawn.
How is Roy still alive? I'm shocked that he doesn't get cleaned up, but either way, Ronin, they get the overshield 46-47, somehow magically getting a 1-kill lead throughout all of this. What is the answer for Evil Geniuses? They do not have the green gun. Nemesis has that in his back pocket, as you can see, rocking the battle rifle as well. Great 3-man push coming in from Ronin over towards top car. They pick up 2 kills, looking for the final and 3rd kill onto Roy. Can they make it the 50th one? Roy desperately running away, but Falcated now. He is caught down towards car 1, 50-47. Great way to end that game for Ronin.
Yeah, Ronin answers back. So Hoaxer with the prediction of Ronin taking it. We're looking at a best of 3 series left here with these 2 teams tied up 1-1. When we take a look at the stats here, we highlighted this player before the game. Tapping Buns having a strong performance. He's the one with the crazy flank and secured himself a double kill right towards the end, top center, with some death grenades as well, but not going to be enough here as Suspector. Most kills, most assists on his team as well. Just big game out of Suspector.
That's what you want to see. Helping for 29 kills, only 13 deaths. Ridiculous performance from Ronin, especially again towards the tail end of that game. You saw the start though. I believe 11-4 was the scoreline at one point. Evil Geniuses did a great job of fighting back, and not only fighting back 36-30, you could see they were in such a great position, but things started to go south very quickly as soon as they grabbed that last and final overshield, 47-46. Those two deaths when it was 46-45. EG had top center control. I can't believe that they were able to get 2 kills on the side of Ronin and then grab the overshield after that. We asked about what would you rather be in, having the 1 kill lead or the positioning. Eventually tapping buttons, his double kill, flipped it so Evil Geniuses had the positioning and the 1 kill lead. But guess what? It didn't matter because Ronin goes underneath the bottom of the map, finds 2 kills, gets the OV, sends that great flank over towards the car side, and that's just too much pressure for Evil Geniuses to handle.
Yeah, you could tell Evil Geniuses had a plan there. They kept pushing up and consistently grabbing that plasma pistol, but they weren't able to put it to use. I didn't see Falcon connect on any of those, and if he did, it definitely was not on the overshield player, because you saw Roy and the rest of Evil Geniuses constantly having to just unload ammunition into him to get rid of that shield there. So if the plasma pistol we used a little bit more effectively, might have seen that play out differently here, but nonetheless, like we said, we are tied up 1-1 in a Fathom CTF game number 3.
All right, Fathom CTF. Haven't seen this one yet today. We are going to start this one up any second. Got to get control of that railgun. Got to get control of that camouflage. I'm still fairly shocked on how Evil Geniuses wasn't able to maintain control throughout the end. I would really like to go back and maybe see a replay or see what kind of film that was towards the end. And now you could go up 2-0 in that series, and that's what's so heartbreaking about this Evil Geniuses squad is you could potentially end this series right now in game number 3. Instead, it's elongated. Instead, Ronin's, they have confidence going in their favor. Now Suspector's got it going, and that's the first big game we've seen from him in a while, and he's a very deadly player.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Keep in mind, Suspector, he was on Allegiance 2016 Halo World Championships where they got second place. So that's going to be his highest placing we've seen, but clearly a player that can perform at the highest level here, somebody that has quite the Halo resume in his back pocket as well. So we'll get this one underway here very shortly. Players are getting set up here in the lobby. Tom, Fathom CTF, do you see this going one way or another, at least benefiting either team?
It's tough. Ronin, I'm pretty sure this is one of their solid game types. Evil Geniuses, I can't remember how many times they've played CTF Fathom throughout all of this, but based on what we saw in the previous game, this is going to be anyone's series, honestly. These teams are very evenly matched. Game number 1, we saw so many lead changes already throughout this series. I think much more than we've even seen in the previous games. So I don't know. This is pretty much a toss-up in my opinion. Could be 50-50 or maybe Hoax is right and they do end up playing a little bit of upset alert on the side of Ronin.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very big match for both of these teams here. Evil Geniuses, they need to make sure they secure this victory. They do not want to fall down into that 7th seed here. And Ronin looking to pick up their next win. The only other win coming over against Naventic here, the 8th seed, our winless team here over the course of this season. So we are looking to get everyone set up here in the lobby, and we will be underway. Keep in mind, series tied 1-1 with only 3 games here left in Pro League should they go the distance.
All right, guys, getting into this one very shortly. And it's exciting to see a little CTF Fathom today because it hasn't been on the board. And I don't think, can we actually pull up the rest of the 5 game types if we could in the back just to see what series layout we have? And there it is. I was curious to see if we did have Empire Strongholds popping up because we didn't see that yet today. And there it is, game number 4. And then if it goes to a game number 5, Truth Slayer. So very interesting ending to this series. Not many weapons, not many sniper rifles, if any, actually. This is the first series I can remember that not one sniper rifle is on the map.
Yeah, that's a really good point to bring up. I don't think anyone from either one of these teams is really known as the best sniper or you know, on par with like the Enviouses and the Optic Gamings here. But all of these players have really solid battle rifles, some great railgun situations, and then with a True Slayer game 5, if it goes the distance there, I feel like you have to put it in favor of Evil Geniuses just because Lunchbox and Roy, the players that have, you know, lived on this map or at least variations of it for almost a decade.
Yeah, and then not only that is, when are they going to finally clutch it up in these final moments? And again, help out these Evil Geniuses fans who were living on cloud 9 after they won the X Games gold medal. But after that, again, it's been a little bit of a downhill spiral, especially after the reverse sweep that happened against LG. So we're having a little bit of problems with the lobby, guys. We're going to get this reset over here. Once we do, we will be starting up this game number 3.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take a quick little break here as we get the players set up in lobby and make sure everything is situated for the last series of the fall season of Pro League here. So make sure you don't go anywhere.